Peter and the Dike, A Tale of Courage in Holland, a bedtime story for children. Today we have a book named Peter and the Dike, A Tale of Courage in Holland, a bedtime story for children. I think they're so pretty. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I love it. Please give this video a like if you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories. Thank you, reading. So, here we go. This story is about a little boy, Peter. In this story, we will get to know a story of bravery. So let's start with our friends Peter and the Dike, A Tale of Courage in Holland. In a country called Netherlands, where there was sea all around, and some of the land was below sea level, and there were dams built to protect it from the wrath of the sea, a little boy named Peter starts a journey to reach the Cape. But he is not like that. This journey of people gives them an adventure, which will lead them to be brave and make them a brave hero. Peter and the Dike, A Tale of Courage in Holland begins. The Netherlands is a nation where a substantial portion of its territory sits below sea level. To safeguard against flooding, intricate systems of dikes serve as barriers between the land and the North Sea. For generations, the Dutch have diligently protected these dikes to maintain their safety and dryness. Even young children are aware of the importance of constant vigilance, understanding that even a small breach in the dike can be extremely hazardous. Many years ago, there resided in Holland a young boy named Peter, whose father was responsible for operating and securing the sluice gates that facilitated ship navigation from Holland's canals into the expansive sea. On a sunny afternoon in early autumn, Peter, an 8-year-old boy, was summoned by his mother. "Peter," she called, "I need you to deliver these cakes to your friend, the blind man. If you hurry and resist the temptation to play along the way, you'll be back home before nightfall." Excited about this important task, Peter eagerly embarked on his journey. After spending some time with the blind man, sharing stories of his walk along the dike and describing the beauty of the sun, flowers, and distant ships at sea, Peter suddenly remembered his mother's request to return before darkness fell. With a heartfelt farewell to his friend, he bid him goodbye and began his homeward journey. While strolling along the canal, he observed the swollen waters caused by the heavy rainfall and their relentless assault on the dike. This reminded him of his father's sturdy gait. "I'm grateful for their strength," he muttered to himself. "If they were to yield, what would happen to us? These beautiful fields would be submerged." Father always refers to them as the wrathful waters. I guess he believes they resent him for keeping them at bay for so long. While strolling, he occasionally paused to pluck the beautiful blue flowers that bloomed by the roadside, or to savor the gentle sound of rabbits tiptoeing through the grass. However, his smile was most often inspired by his visits to a destitute blind man who found solace in his company. Abruptly realizing that dusk was descending and darkness enveloping him, he pondered, "Mother must be anxiously awaiting my return," prompting him to sprint homeward. At that very moment, his ears caught a sound. It was the unmistakable sound of water trickling. His steps halted abruptly as he directed his gaze downward. A minuscule aperture in the dike revealed itself, allowing a feeble stream to escape. The mere thought of a leak in the dike sent shivers down any child's spine in Holland. Peter grasped the danger immediately. If the water continued to seep through this tiny crevice, it would inevitably create a larger breach, resulting in widespread flooding across the entire country. In an instant, he comprehended his duty. Discarding his bouquet of flowers without hesitation, he descended along the dike's edge and pressed his finger firmly into the diminutive hole. The water's flow came to a halt. He exclaimed silently. The furious waters shall remain restrained now. I possess the power to hold them back with my finger. Holland will not succumb to flooding as long as I am present. Initially, this seemed satisfactory, but it quickly became gloomy and chilly. The tiny individual yelled and shrieked desperately. Come hither, he cried out. Yet his pleas fell on deaf ears. No one arrived to lend a hand. The temperature continued to drop, causing his arm to throb and gradually lose sensation. He called out once more, desperately hoping for someone to come to his aid. Is there no one who will come? Mother? Mother? Unfortunately, his mother had already scanned the Dike road multiple times since sunset in search of her young son. Assuming he was staying overnight with his visually impaired companion, she had locked up their cottage and decided to reprimand Peter the next morning for venturing out without her consent. In an attempt to distract himself from the biting cold, Peter attempted to whistle, but found it impossible as his teeth were chattering uncontrollably. Feeling the chill, he couldn't help but think of his brother and sister snug in their cozy beds, as well as his beloved parent. Determined to prevent any harm from befalling them, he resolved to remain at his post until help arrived, even if it meant enduring a sleepless night. With the moon and stars as witnesses, the child huddled on a cold stone by the side of the dike. Though his head was bowed and his eyes shut, he remained awake, periodically massaging his hand that held back the relentless sea. I'll endure this somehow, he silently vowed. And so he persevered throughout the night, steadfastly keeping the water at bay. At the crack of dawn, a man on his way to work detected what he believed to be a groan while strolling along the peak of the dike. Peering over the edge, he witnessed a child desperately clutching onto the side of the towering wall. "What's wrong?" he shouted. "Are you injured?" "I'm holding back the water," Peter hollered. "Tell them to come quickly." The news quickly spread like wildfire. People rushed over with shovels, and in no time at all, they repaired the hole. They escorted Peter back to his parents' house, and soon enough, word got around about how he had single-handedly saved their lives that fateful night. Even today, they have never ceased to remember the courageous little hero of Holland. The end. Good job, friends. Thank you so much for reading with me. Bye, I'll see you next time.